Hello, I'm Alan. I am answering the one question I have, or will start to answer the question of how the patina of a clay teapot affects the flavor of a tea. So I've been hitting hard on the Gyokuro and dedicated this Shiboridashi and have done 100 sessions. So today is going to be session 101 with a identical, same clay, same artist that has been used 0 times. So 101 and first. And I'll show a photo too. Don't know how well this will show it. But you can kind of see the raw clay versus one that has some patina around it. So it's definitely building a patina. Around session 20 is where I first started noticing it starting to accumulate. So I'll be finding out how much of the patina of a pot, if it affects the flavor, if it affects maybe the mouthfeel, the texture, aftertaste, who knows? We'll find out. Whether it affects those sort of things or if it's more of a romantic, almost overhyped requirement. As I'm reading so many blogs and videos, it's almost like this patina is a requirement for your tea session. So we'll just I'll kind of figure all that stuff out. But for sure there's a romance factor because, I mean, if I've had 100 sessions with this little guy, we got a relationship going on. We've bonded. So when I do side-by-sides, this is kind of how I have it all set up. Try to keep everything like a identical set of everything. The first brew that I like to do for this Gyokuro is 14 minutes at room temperature water. And I've got everything weighed out exactly. I'm even going to weigh out the water each time. So we're just going to get started here. And what I need is, for the ratios, I'm doing, so the ratio is 6 grams per 100 milliliters. I'm going to do 3 grams and 50 of water. So in each of these I've weighed that out. And let's get the first one started. Gonna wait 30 seconds in between to give me time to pour it out. Okay. Alright, I guess we'll see you in about 13 minutes. Alright, we're back and we're getting really close to the 14-minute mark for the first one to decant. Making sure to give myself plenty of time in between. right. Okay, let's find out. So, and I don't remember if I said it, I'm drinking Mayleaf's Okumidori from 2020. And the reason being is, of my fuck yes teas, this is actually one of the more affordable ones, so I'm able to buy more to do things like experiments. Some of these competition grade ones are amazing, and also like $1.15 per gram. All right. So I'm not really analyzing the tea itself so much as the effect of the patina on it. I want to save a little bit for an encore. So it's more comparing the differences than analyzing the tea itself. But it's still very delicious. Okay, so this is for the one that's been used 100 times and the one that's been used 0 times. We'll see what the differences are. Cheers. I'm analyzing things like brightness, texture. That's kind of why I'm real quiet at the moment, as I'm focusing on each different part of the what the liquor is. Alright, so that was steep 1. Overall impressions is, if there's a difference, it is insanely subtle. Yeah, and any minor differences I'm picking up could very well literally be the fact that there's different leaves. Even though it's the same weight of leaves, I used the water from the exact same vessel, so it wasn't a risk of the vessel changing the flavor, so it was the exact same temperature. So any flavor differences so far could literally just be different physical leaves inside. It's very good tea, though. Okay, so now one of the key ways how I do experiments to try to even or to minimize the variables is I make sure that this gets preheated sufficiently each time. So I'm not weighing one in a cold measuring cup, pouring it in, and then weighing one in a preheated and pouring it in. So anyway, so this is going to be steep 2. We out. So 60-degree waters. I'm going to wait 20 seconds or so till I can kind of feel it heating up. Because we want these variables to be as small as possible. It's still a bit cold on the give it a swirl. Okay, now I can kind of feel the heat on each side. So I'd say that is sufficient to then these are for 75 seconds, this next steep. Oops. Forget I'm timing myself. I need to make this the priority. Ooh, that was close. Whew. Okay, I made it. Now I can get everything prettied up. We'll get this preheating for 65. Recognize I'm a little quieter today. Not too much to talk about because I've done a session analyzing not the 2021 but 2018. Okay. You're probably going to hear a buzz as the timer goes. Yeah. There we go. Just 15 seconds apart. That was pretty tight. Okay. Ooh, pretty. The leaves have opened up. Nice and large size. Lovely floral. Oh, interesting. Let's see. Now that there's some heat, it's almost like I can smell the clay in this one, and it could just be because it's been unused. Very subtle though, so it's more that my senses notice the difference, but it's not super identifiable or distracting. So I loved it. Good Gyokuro is amazing. And I had one that blew my socks off. I might do a video on it. Oh. Lovely. All right, so let's see what Steep 2 brings as far as differences. Cheers. All right, about the same experience. There were some differences, but again, very, very, how do I say it? Anything I'm picking up could just be psychosomatic, honestly. That I'm looking for differences that aren't there. So, one question that could bring up is 100 steeps worth of a patina enough to bring out a difference in versus a raw unused pot before? Or do you need 200 or 500 or 1,000 or a lifetime? And once you get into that, then honestly it comes back down to the romance of the fact that you and this pot have had 100 sessions together or 1,000 sessions together, and that definitely affects the experience. This is still going to be my favorite one, even if this one I don't know, was better, but if that makes sense. But because I've used this for 100 morning rituals so far, that it's I've gotten familiar with it. Little relationship there. So that romance behind it. Anyway, rambling. Let's look at steep 3. So 65. That is good. Let's get this preheated. I want to make sure I can feel the heat through it, because then it means it's fully preheated up. Alrighty. Good. Gotta move fast when the brew time is so short. Okay, I can make it purdy again. Alrighty. Okay, steep 3. Still very floral, still very nice. You get different, almost put that on the wrong one. You get different aromas depending on when you're smelling the leaves directly versus like the empty chahai or gongdabe. I guess 2 different words for the same thing essentially. Right. Cheers. All right, very nice. Same, very similar. We are gonna do one more steep and then drink the encore and give final kind of overall impressions on this. So get this preheated for the 70 degrees. Ooh. It is hotter. Make sure I can feel it. Okay. Perfect. And go. All right. $35 more seconds. Now, in the morning, this is fine because it keeps me quiet. I'm sure for the video, it's not as entertaining, the silence, but it's part of the whole ritual of the tea is just being with it while it steeps and awakens. All right. The leaves have definitely been extracted. They are now kind of a mushy vomit green. Vomit is many colors, but it's an adjective more than anything. Definitely been extracted and used up. So, but nice thing, this can go the full 4 steeps, so I can do really good experiments with it. All right. Very nice. Okay. Steep 4. Cheers. All right, very nice. That 4 steep is basically hint essence. Some of them, when you do a 4 steep, is just gross. Where this, it's still a nice 4 steep. Even given the fact that it's more just essence than having any real flavor. Okay, so let's do the last encore for final overall. If there's any differences that can be picked up. Once all the steeps have been stacked on top of each other. Oh, I can probably, we'll be close. Looks like I can fit all of it into them. Ooh, right to the brim. Ooh, good. Lovely aroma. Okay. Cheers. Ooh, I love this. One of the prominent flavors I'm getting is like buttered sauteed spinach, or not spinach, zucchini. The spinach notes are actually very mild. The over steamed vegetables, very mild. This is more of a sauteed buttery zucchini. Oh, so delicious. So overall impressions, I would say that there's not a whole hell of a lot of difference between a pot that's been used 100 times and a pot that's never been used before. Nice thing is that also tells me the workmanship and the clay is really high quality because I'm not tasting the clay in one that's never been used. I had one Yixing, I put in quotes just because that I trust that it was from there, but it's the first Yixing pot I had where when I brewed it just like this, never been used, I did like a rinse to clean off dust and everything. Anyway, I really tasted clay, and I was like, oh my god, whatever this is made out of that's going to take a while to get the clay flavor out of there so I can taste the tea again. So anyway, that tells me that this artist, well, I should have wrote the name down, Hokujo, made these. He's Japan has named him a cultural heritage artist or something like that. He picks out his own clay. I'm digressing and rambling, but anyway, it's telling me that the clay quality is good by the fact that even with one that's never been used before, I'm not picking up any differences between them. So you can use them right out of the box, essentially. Rinse it off to get any dust and stuff, make sure it's cleaned, and but you don't have to use it 1,000 times before the clay is not distracting. The nice thing about, for me, doing this side by side is it helps ease some anxiety and over the hype of how do I phrase this? So I can focus more on the quality of the tea that I'm buying than the patina of the vessel. Like I've tried several different clays, and other than the ones that resulted in clay flavor coming out, the ones that were neutral, like this one, the differences in the experience between them were very subtle. There were some but you had to be very present. You had to be very quiet, which is nice. And at the same time, someone like me who's just getting into even exploring, there are so many fucking teas that it's like, where do you, how do I find which ones I like? Am I doing it in the right vessels? There's just so much info coming at you that this at least helps ease some anxiety of, I've tried a bunch of different clays. The differences were almost imperceptible unless I was super quiet. The differences of a patina versus not a patina, very imperceptible unless I'm super quiet and want there to be a difference. So it helping me re-internalize and solidify that getting the better tea is the most important part. You get a good vessel that will brew tea for you, and then just worry about the tea itself from there. Anyway, it was a nice session. I'll now have to figure out what I'll do with this pot. It'll be like a backup. It'll also, for other experiments as I try black teas and pu'er teas and yellow teas and whatever, I'll still be experimenting in the different clays, because just to help get the full experience of what could the vessel and the clay bring to the flavor. So at least for this stage of my journey through tea, the flavor seems to be where my focus is. And it could be that my culinary background, that you're always tasting things and so you want the taste to be good. That's part of where my focus is. Then, as I transition and mature through my experience, maybe that's where more of the chi of the vessel, the chi of the tea, where I can sit with the feeling of it, will become more prominent. Anyway, kind of rambling now, but it's a good experience. Thanks for watching through this long, quiet video while I explored how a patina affects the flavor. So, anyway, have a wonderful day. Take care.